Hello, hello. Welcome to the Boardroom AI, the podcast where we unpack the latest AI news for you, for busy business leaders, so you don't have to spend long hours with the internet or your favorite ChatGPT. We do it for you, and we offer our very much welcome opinion on every news. So today we have pretty exciting topics. We also have Michał, CTO, sick. Last week it was Jeremy. Jeremy, hope you feel better this week. And I hope that neither Maciek nor I will be sick next week. But very important news, guys. Jeremy had birthday yesterday, and I wanted to wish him a happy birthday. And
Should we sing?
no, we shouldn't. We shouldn't do it for our audience. But also, he's officially old. So I would like to ask Jeremy, how do you think AI will change your midlife crisis? Will this impact midlife crisis, or it's gonna be pretty the same as 10 or 20 years ago? What do you think?
Um, First of all, thank you for the wishes. Midlife crisis, that's a little early, but you know what?
I
I
mean,
feel
like,
like
you should start preparing for it.
that's
We
true,
all
that's
do.
true. I mean, I do feel like ChatGPT can be a good, free therapist available sometimes. So I'm not saying I'm using ChatGPT for therapeutic process today, but who knows what's going to happen in, at least 15 years when I'll have the
Uh-huh.
midlife crisis, hopefully.
Yeah, of course.
I think
So,
that I think that as a birthday gift, we can sponsor you the ChatGPT Pro version.
Yes, please. Thank you so much.
guys, I bought the ChatGPT Pro version last week, and it's still slow. So I don't feel like it gives me any, pro option. I just have, I think, unlimited ChatGPT 4.5 and O1 Pro. But that's it. It's still pretty slow. I don't know if it's worth $200. Anyway, I'm sure we're gonna complain about ChatGPT, Gemini, and everyone today. As you guys, we are Europeans, so we always have to complain. But before we complain, we're gonna gossip a little bit because this week we had pretty interesting drama about 11x. The startup is called 11x does sales AI, SDR AI, something like that. So last year, you guys probably remember, there was a lot of startups doing SDR AI, basically replacing SDRs with AI. And the impact for business leaders was that we started getting hundreds of SDR emails to our mailboxes. It's a different discussion whether it makes sense for SDR AI SDRs to exist in the long term, but let's not talk about it now. The drama is that 11x lied about their results, or maybe didn't tell the entire truth. Something that is very common in the AI space is that we let our potential customers test the solution before they commit for a year, 2 years contract. And it's quite problematic for most of the investors, and most of the AI companies are actually backed by investors. So what 11x did, they offered 1-year contracts to their customers, but with 3 months opt out. So basically, in 3 months, you could say, I don't want to use this service anymore. And they raised quite a lot of money. I think it was 50 million Series B, with the results, including those opt outs. I think it gave them around 14 million in ARR, but eventually, I think I saw in TechCrunch, 90% of those customers churned after 3 months. So that's basically I think they reported it was basically 3 million in ARR, which is not really an exciting Series B startup. Will we see more of those kind of dramas in the next months, you think, guys? I have my own thoughts about like what is the business leader, like what should business leaders take from it? But before that, I'm just curious, do you think it's just one sneaky founder, or will we see more of those kind of things?
History shows definitely that there is more examples like this. With the founders like not telling the truth about the numbers of users and so on. I don't want to show the examples right now, but we've seen this series on Netflix already, all of us. But technically, it's all of them are revenue recognition, and I think it's like if this is true, I think that like someone really failed with the due diligence and checking the contract, what is really in the contract, because recognizing the revenue from contracts that are in the opt-out period is not the best practice because it's not the true revenue everyone can churn anytime. So definitely everyone was in this bubble and we still are in the bubble. Everyone wants to prove the result, but they're growing crazy fast. Investors love high-tech growing companies on the AI boom. So we will see. We've seen a lot of huge rounds of investments in a lot of different companies with a high valuation. The first thing, do they have this revenue? Hopefully, yes. Doesn't matter right now. We'll see. The question is like, they be able to get to this valuation with the revenue in the upcoming years, which gonna be a challenge definitely for everyone.
Totally. I think historically, innovation, whenever something new happens, there's always a ton of scam on the beginning. You know, everyone jumps on the innovation trend. It's just like a huge wave. Everyone tries to get something out of it. I read a book once about, you know, the train revolution in the US, and there being a ton of companies that raised tons of money that actually didn't exist and never laid, you know, a single track of for trains. And I think with AI, exactly the same thing happens. It honestly hurts the industry in the sense that people who go and want to buy AI software have to really be careful with making decision about the vendor they're going with, and ensure that this vendor will be still there in 3 months' time, you know, because companies like 11x are just a proof that scammers are out there and they can attract prestigious investors and still kind of and not deliver the promise that they make. This is the scary part to me, to be honest.
I've
Yeah,
seen
that
also I've seen also the practice right now that, you know, there is this AI boom everyone is getting. There is a lot of new companies in the market with, let's say, like a couple of months or a 1 year track record without even proving that customers are staying with them. But what they are doing is they are signing like 2-3 years contracts and showing the roadmap. And you know the roadmap needs to be delivered, but like the roadmaps are like all talking about like very crazy innovative stuff that don't exist. And the assumption is that like sign the 2-3 year deal with us. We don't have yet the product. We will deliver because we have money. But you know, I think like there's a huge challenge because maybe a lot of buyers will stay with the contracts, but without the true product that exists.
Yeah, 100%. So I think the takeaway for business leaders is think about the vendors you're choosing and really do a good due diligence. So don't let the shiny presentations, shiny pitch blind you, because there is a lot of noise in the market right now. Like, you have to do your own due diligence and probably buy what the company has right now, not what they claim they're gonna have in a month from now or 3 months from now. Definitely, we all have to be careful when choosing AI tools, and don't get me wrong, like, we should buy AI tools because, well, it speeds up everything, and we'll talk about it today. I know Jeremy has an interesting thought about that, but let's not stop. I think it's very important. I don't want to scare
Invest into
off.
the market,
I
please.
I don't want to scare off, like, especially enterprise companies that are already kind of like, are we ready to buy AI? Yes, you are ready. You just have to do a due diligence. because investors won't do it for you, as we already see. I think in the past we were like, okay, if this company is backed by this amazing investor, it means that, they did the work, and we can say that this is real. But like, we see that it's not the case anymore. We are all people and we make mistakes, so be careful. Last time we talk about the dream that we would have an AI agent here with us, talking and giving us their opinion, and helping us find some information. Basically, a colleague that is super intelligent and can do the work in no time. Otter AI released such a feature. Otter AI is a sales AI as well, right? If I remember correctly, guys. Yes, exactly. So they offer this to their customers. I haven't tested it. I don't know if it's real. I haven't checked it for you, so you have to check it for yourself. But at least they released it. So definitely market thinks about those things, and this is really, really exciting. Like, the dream comes true. Hopefully the quality is already there, but if not today, in 3 months from now, the dream will become reality, and we are looking forward to it, to welcome the fourth or fifth presenter here in the room with us. Any thoughts about it? I think, Jeremy, you can maybe talk about the thought that you have about how AI develops so quickly that AI agents basically double their capacity from what you said, like quarter
They
to quarter.
double every seven. They double the efficiency and the ability to perform long actions every 7 months, according to a
Wow.
recent study, which is exciting. But just a second before we jump into that, about Otter, what a crazy world we live in, that we just 2 weeks ago talked about how cool it would be to have AI join the call. And, when I read this news, I was like, wow, we should, like, first of all, is AI listening to us and stealing our best ideas? Because it definitely sounds like it. But yeah, it's just like, it's so fast. And I think with these products like a agent joining your Zoom call, this A agent specifically, it has access to your company's documents, so it can kind of fill the additional context that potentially participants might be missing. I think it's very exciting, but with innovation, like, you always have the question of how good of this product is and how long do you need to wait to release it. So I'm expecting it to be a horrible experience today, but just because it's there, now they can improve on it. And I'm excited to kind of see how far will they take it, and whether the AI will be actually, helpful to people in the calls, or it will be one of those participants who just like talks and talks and talks and doesn't bring any point. We all know those people.
I think that from my perspective, it's like it's not like the sales AI. It's like more like the tool, like the meetings recorder, but it joins every. It's a note taker. It used to
Yeah.
be a note taker, so it was taking a notes and sending you summaries and so on. So I think that they're the first in the market released this cool idea. I would expect that we should guys test it out and see how does it work on one of our meetings. And second of all, I think that we remember we talked about this recently, that there is the moment someone released the deep research, there is a lot of companies just after them release deep research. So I believe that there is a lot of competitors Otter AI has. So maybe we can test Otter AI, or maybe we can wait 2 weeks from now and see if the other ones were released, and then we can compare. But like, it's good that it's moving into this direction, because as we talked many times, it would be great to have this virtual agent with access to your data. And sometimes at this meeting, like, hey, like, what is the number? Like, hey, what was then? And if it's so cool that you can ask and you will find it, it will tell you, it can speed up and boost the efficiency of the meetings.
And meetings in general, business meetings, are such an amazing source of information and context, because they not only get the hard data that you have in your documentation, they also contain opinions of different people. So they
Yep.
can bring these perspectives that are kind of hidden today. Like, business meetings are such a hidden value for companies. I so often love, for all the meetings to be recorded, just because I'm using the transcripts from these meetings to ask specific questions of AI. Hey, who said what on this subject or whatever, especially if your day is full of meetings and you just kind of jump from one to another. It helps. At the same time, you gotta be careful what you say on them. It's not as it used to be.
Yeah. But I think it's the next big thing, honestly, like optimizing meetings and the outcomes. Totally. And I can imagine this AI agent saying like, okay, Jeremy, you talk too much. There is no value in what you're saying, or you are wrong. I actually found the data that proves you wrong. I think that would be absolutely amazing. And maybe the AI agent would be way more aggressive, or like honest with their opinions than other participants in the room that maybe are kind of scared to, speak and say that, okay, like you
Yeah.
or me, it's enough.
And
So
coming back to the previous conversation we had, like hopefully Otter AI doesn't have a built-in I won't do this switch because you don't want this AI, as Anthropic suggested, to tell you that it's not gonna do the work you need.
for sure, yeah,
Definitely,
hopefully.
which is a good segue actually to the next thing that Maya brought up already. I wanted to tell you about some exciting study that was made. It was made by Matter, which is a nonprofit research organization that was co-founded by one of the original researchers from OpenAI. It's an organization that is doing studies around AI essentially. And they were looking to find a good benchmark for just evaluating how advanced AI gets. And one of the metrics they focused on and really study on recently is one where the metric is measuring how long of a task can AI do. And one of the things that they found out is that AIs today can have 100% effectiveness in terms of tasks that take human people less than 4 minutes. But this efficiency comes down to 10% when the task is longer than 4 hours. However, something that they also found out is that the growth rate is equal to that effectiveness doubles every 7 months. So essentially, if today it's 4 minutes, in 7 months it's going to be 8 minutes, and so on and so forth. So kind of it's a hockey stick sort of a vertical of growth. And I think it's such an amazing way to express actually the effectiveness of AI agents, the ability to conduct, longer tasks, tasks that are, a combination of many smaller tasks as well, deep research, and so on and so forth. I'm curious, you guys, what is the upper the ceiling if it comes to the efficiency of the AI in your opinion? Is there even a ceiling for a bigger efficiency of AI systems?
It's great that we have these studies, and it's great that they are doing this because the last time we talked was like we're seeing that the releases of the new models are focused on like doing different stuff and providing you better experience, doing these deep researches and so on. But like no one is really focused on recently on completing this end-to-end complex task that you expect like 100% deterministic outcome. And we know that in many of these tasks that humans are doing, a human being person is responsible for the outcome and takes the full responsibility, whether it's a employee, whether it's a manager, whoever it is. So I think that it's really great that we see that in the recent months it was like 7x grow. It doubles every 7 months. I'm curious if in the next, let's say, 12 months, we'll be seeing the same trend, or actually we'll be seeing the downsides of the trend, because based on the recent releases of the models, we don't see a lot of focuses on this task completion and executing this kind of tasks.
Or wherever it's going to accelerate even further. In recent Jimmy Fallon show, Bill Gates quoted, a challenge he made to OpenAI as a company to train within the next 2 years AI so good that it can fill out biology, a complicated biology test. And OpenAI delivered within a month.
Okay.
And so like I'm just curious. I'm just curious is actually this will not even be in 7 months from now, quadrupling if it comes to efficiency. This is my experience, at least with these systems, that they really get so much advanced lately and just accelerate the development. But it begs the question, of course, what is the future of workforce? Like, if the AIs are getting so good so quickly, what is the future? Maya, what do you think as the CEO? Is your job in danger?
Well, I think we are living in the era of generalists. Like, we will be humans that manage multiple AI agents and have to assess the outcome and have to connect the dots and like really be humans. This is really exciting, but it's also super dangerous. And I think we could even do a separate episode about that. Like, what does it mean for society as a whole? Because, well, we don't need as many workers anymore, right? And we see like layoffs and layoffs and layoffs. I think yesterday or 2 days ago, Square announced quite massive layoff, I think 8%, said it's not really about the results, but about the strategy. And among other changes, they made 193 managers, current managers, they made them come back to the IC role. And I believe that it's not really going to be IC role. It's going to be a manager role, but managing AI agents, the work of AI. So this is the kind of thing we see in the market. And also all the recruitments that we do right now at Zawi, they are for generalists in marketing, generalists in sales, etc., etc. Because you don't need, in many cases, those specialists right now. You don't have full-time job for specialists. You have a full-time job, like many full-time jobs for people being able to execute on different ideas, different things while using AI. And I think this is exciting and challenging for the society, for governments. That's going to be a big problem, and someone has to figure this out. We are not here to do it. Like, we don't, manage the countries. But I think someone who does should really think about it. And I have many thoughts about that. And I hope that, I'm sure that there will be countries that will figure this out and they will be winners in terms of innovation, in terms of well-being of their citizens. But right now, like, we are in danger, that's for sure. There is, of course,
Wow.
opportunity for many people, but for really like 1% and not for, the
Yeah,
rest. And this
I
is
was.
scary.
Yeah, I was just talking about, the impact of AI a couple of days ago with someone who just finished their studies, and she is looking essentially for an entry-level position. And definitely, today to enter workforce is much harder than when I was entering workforce, just because AI kind of fills those entry-level positions and duties that normally those people would take. Um, and but at the same time, I think people like, even most senior people, when I look at my work every day, my output definitely increased. I don't know how much, but since I'm using, multiple AI tools every day to conduct these repetitive asks, and not even repetitive, sometimes a tiny bit analytical, and so on and so forth, generate ideas, brainstorm with me, like all of those things, I have AI to partner with me, and it really helps. And I don't think anyone in anyone's position is kind of safe from AI. Every position will be impacted. And it's really, once you get over the fear, it actually gets really fun to play with it and see how it can improve your work.
And
100.
I think that we also need to look like how the structure of the product and development engineering teams will change. Like, I don't know, people are listening us to, like, you need to take a look, find a YouTube video, see what's possible today with Cursor or all of the tools that developers are using today to like write the code for them. Like, it's really mind-blowing what these solutions can do, and the way they understand the code base and the way they really can execute the different tasks is exactly getting us to the level that everything can be coded with a prompt. And like the engineers, like the true engineers that are needed for solve the complex architectural tasks and so on. But I agree with you, I mean, like I imagine that a lot of junior engineers have a very hard time right now to get to the position because majority of these tasks can be like done. Like from the company efficiency perspective, it's just much faster to write a prompt and deliver some kind of junior task that used to be done in the past by the Jira, by some kind of Jira task assigned to the new person in the team. So it's not good what's happening, and I think that like we need to be open to find a way how we can enable these people and how we can set up the stuff, but also we'll probably be migrating to the role that like the different titles we have right now in the product engineering organization, they will also merge because this like we had 2 3 titles in the past. I think that it will merge into one title, and one person will be able to deliver more different types of tasks and things because of the using the AI. Like you can use AI today to research how to integrate your system with the other system, and the task that used to take like 2 3 days for engineer to understand, read the documentation, prepare the specification, you just run the deep research and you will get it, and in most of the cases it will be even better than you thought. It's crazy.
I'll just share a personal story here that, about 10 years ago, I decided to abandon my computer scientist career path. And I was so scared back then. I was like, I'm going to start a company, and who am I going to be? Like, I won't be a specialist. I won't be like developing myself in any kind of direction. What if this won't work out? Like, what will I do with my life? And this is so funny to look back, because it was like the best decision of my life, probably, because now I'm some kind of generalist, and I can do so many different things. And I'm so thankful to myself that I abandoned this career path. I wouldn't like to be an engineer right now. It's a scary place to be, honestly. But yeah, I think the outcome from this pretty long conversation about how AI agents and AI in general is advanced for our busy business leaders is that hire generalists. Hire generalists. Think about your structure of your teams. Make it flatter. Think about, less about specialists, more about generalists, and how you can leverage AI in your daily work and daily work of your employees. Because if you don't do it now, like, your competitors will do. So you really need to think about it right here, right now. It was pretty intense discussion and pretty serious. So maybe let's talk about something fun. So ChatGPT released an option to generate images, and it's fun. I mean, it's pretty fun. I've seen crazy examples of like super realistic people, and like how you can actually do deep fakes, but not really. At least my experience is that when you send it a photo, it changes your face. So I think it prevents deep fakes. I will share with you guys, because I know that, Maciek, you have more details about this crazy thing, but I would just show you so you know like what we are talking
Let's
about
start with
here.
a demo.
Let's start with a demo. So this is me with my dog. Can you see? Am I showing? Yes. So, and I ask it to it changed my face. I think I'm definitely not prettier here, but.
Wow.
The goose is fun.
That
It
is a
made me
beautiful
blonde as
duck, though.
well. Yeah, and it made me prettier, actually, with the blonde hair. I think this is bias, that blondes are prettier. And it also can generate cartoons, like whatever, like so many different things. So, and it's really good. Okay, it's really good comparing to like all the other tools. This is really, really good. It says a lot about what Jeremy shared, that it doubles its efficiency, and every 7 months. This is what we see here. Maciek, what really happened?
I think that OpenAI is great in launching this stuff that creates a huge rumor about them. Like, internet is booming about this. Everyone is so excited. Everyone is sharing a lot of great stuff. So finally, what they did, they really deliver a very high quality image generation, which is amazing. The truth is that the way they did it is that it's very smart, because the fact that it changed Maya's face, no one can create a deep fake of her, and you can still play around. And, if people want to use it to improve the quality and so on, like, there are claims that people who are experts in Photoshop and graphic designers are pretty much down. Maybe, again, like, still need to be creative and so on. We need to remember that Photoshop also really needs all of this feature that you can use generative AI within a Photoshop and generate different parts and so on. So I wouldn't say that like people, graphic designers are done, because still the imagination, creativity, and the way you want to present it is still needed. But from my perspective, a really great delivery of a product experience. And again, OpenAI is perfect in releasing the marketing stuff, and I think that everyone again is talking about OpenAI on the market, while Google released something great as well, and no one is really talking about this. So what I would say is that maybe if I can do already the jump to what's the new, is like Google releasing the same time Gemini 2.5, which is like the best model on the market right now. And I will show you
What does
something.
it mean? Like, what does it mean that it's the best?
Great question. So let's introduce our audience to something that is called LM Arena. This is the place when the new model is released, there is a team of experts running a set of special tasks, and for every task, a model receives a score. And whenever the new model is released, you're getting this team to test it out, and you can see the score. And I will show you how does it look like. Screen, here we go. So this is Aria. It's lmarena.ai, and you can find it. And you have these leaderboards. When you can get there is like the main leaderboard, and you can see that Gemini is the leader. And if you want to take a look on overview of the all existing models across the different categories that are scoring, you can see that it's like overall score, hard prompts, coding, following instructions, creative writing, longer query, multi-turn. Like Gemini 2.0 Pro that was just released 4 days ago is the leader in every category. Then the ChatGPT is just the latest. But if you go back to the overview, like what's very interesting is that if you take a look on the top 10, I think that this view is easier to see. Let's take a look on the top 10. Like the top 10, like Gemini is like 1, 2, 3, 4, and their Gemma 5. So in top 10, you can see that there is like 5 of 10 models are from Gemini, from Google. So technically we can see that like Google is like silent, doing the great job. Their engineers are delivering the very high quality models right now, releasing something that is improving. But I think that they definitely could market it better and show it better. But if you take a look on like who is the leader on the quality of the models, it looks like that it's Google versus like Grok, DeepSeek, and all of them that are running a really strong marketing around this stuff. On the other hand, like Google is really delivering like the high quality model, and now the leader is Google. Let's see what will happen in the next 2 weeks. Maybe OpenAI or DeepSeek will release something new.
As we know, it's usually not about the best product, but the best marketing and sales. So, the race is there. We'll see. It's not for, forever that Google is on top. Like probably, OpenAI will release something new and it will be on top. So my job here is to give takeaways to business leaders, guys, like don't focus too much on it, because today is Google, tomorrow is going to be OpenAI, like God knows what's going to happen in 3 months from now. Google does great job for sure. OpenAI does as well. You shouldn't switch models that you use on the enterprise level every day because someone just released a better model. Like the competitors will catch up, and we also talk about it multiple times. But kudos to Google for sure. This is exciting. Just do guys better marketing, especially for consumers. and everything will be fine, and your stock will be in a better position, probably. So this is everything that we prepared for you today. Always, you guys welcome your feedback. Thank you so much for being with us. Hope that we unpacked some AI news for you and gave you some advice. Thank you for today, and we'll see you in a week from now, hopefully in a full squad with Michał as well. We wish him a quick recovery. Thank you so much, and see you. Bye bye.
Thank you guys. Ciao.
Thank you.
Nie wychodźcie.